this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are revisiting Disneyland. This is going to be the beginning of, or continuing the beginning of our third day at Disneyland. And so we're returning to Galaxy's Edge for a quick visit. And this should be a fun layout to do. I actually am following one of the virtual sketches for February in this layout. I did modify it just a little bit. You know how I am, but I think it will turn out well. So let's check out my workspace and get started. All right, so this is my workspace for today, and here we have a copy of the virtual crop sketches for February. The layout that I'm going to do today, I am going to base on sketch number 4, and just because it seemed like it fit with some of the scraps that I wanted to use up on this layout. So I think it will be a fun twist, a little bit of a twist on this layout right here. This is the sketch that I'm going to be following today. Let me see if I can make that a little bit at less of an angle for you. If you're not familiar with the Creative Memories virtual crops, once a month, usually the second weekend of the month, Creative Memories will host a virtual crop, and they will give us 4 sketch challenges for the month. And if you do each one that you do, when it's completed, if you go ahead and post it to the Creative Memories virtual crop Facebook page with a hashtag, and then the appropriate hashtag is listed above the sketch, then you can be entered for a drawing. And this year they're doing a virtual crop, an annual virtual crop, where if you have done every layout for the year, then you'll be entered into a special drawing at the end of the year for Creative Memories products. So super fun, and well worth your time and effort, because while you're getting entered for these fun things, you also are getting your scrapbook done. So, you know, what's not to like, right? Okay, so I have some photos, some more photos from Galaxy's Edge and Disney that we're going to do today. And this is from our last day at the park. The very first thing we did in the morning was go straight to Galaxy's Edge to see if we could get on any of those rides again, because they were so fun and fantastic and new that we thought that would be super fun. And we got some other really good pictures too. So I pulled out, you may recall, I think the last time that we were together, let's flip this over. The last time we were together, I worked on this page, or this double page layout, for when my son built his lightsaber, which was super cool. And I used these papers and did some tearing with our tearing tool at the bottom to create this border. So I wanted to utilize those same papers because we're still in Galaxy's Edge, still kind of in that that mode, and so I wanted to go ahead and continue to use these papers. But this is all I have left of these papers, so I had to find a layout that would work with the photos that I want to use and the papers that I had left. And I think this is going to be the perfect blend of all those things. So first of all, we're going to cut a couple of pieces. So let me grab my sketch again and my what is this? My trimmer, my 12-inch trimmer. Sorry guys, I had a little bit of a brain cramp there. And let's go ahead and trim just a couple of pieces to get these going. So this center piece that's right here, the center strip, is 5 inches by 12 inches. They tell us that here in the sketch, which is lovely. We didn't used to have measurements there, and so I'm so grateful to Home Office for giving us measurements. It really does help even those of us who are more experienced it definitely helps to have measurements. So this piece that I have, this beautiful golden rock, is actually measuring roughly 5.5, maybe slightly more than 5.5 at this end. And so, but I'm going to leave it because I want that irregular kind of edge on the outside. So I'm going to leave that there. And I also have this other strip of the same paper, and it's not really too wide. It's only a couple inches wide. So I'm going to use this too, but I'm going to use them just the way they are. So I'm not going to trim those at all. We're going to set those over here. Then what I'm going to work with is this kind of medium stone paper, not this paper right here. We'll get to that in a second. I wanted to work with this for a second. So this rough stone paper is what I want to use to mat this center area right here. And that center area right there is measuring 4.5 by 5 and 11 by 5. And really I only have these pieces. So my thought is that if I go ahead and cut from this larger piece, the 11 by 5 portion, then I could possibly put these together with what's left and create a sort of composite that I could use on this side. I'm hoping that will work anyway. So let's see. We want probably let's use, I want this crack right here. So I want that crack, and I think I want the lighter bit. I can't have both. So let's do, we need it to be 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here at 5 inches. So here is my 5-inch piece, and then this one needs to be 11 inches, so I'm going to cut an inch off of that. Right here on the end. Okay, that'll just probably end up being an extra piece. Alright, so that piece is done. Now what I need is to combine these in such a way that they make sense, so that I can use them on the other end. And just so that you are tracking with me, the photo that I'm adding to this side is not a 4x4, it's actually a 4x6 that I have blended together. So this is a composite picture, 2 pictures that I have layered together, and so it will be a 4x6, and or I could make it a 5.5. Let's make it a 5.5. I think that's going to be a little bit better for everything involved. So let's see. Let's concentrate on this. I like those. I like the way that blends together there. This one, I like the way that blends together there. And actually even this end looks pretty good. So we need to I need to go ahead and weld these. So I'm going to grab some welding material, and by welding material I simply mean some scraps of white cardstock or any color cardstock, but I tend to use white. I feel like it works a little bit better for me. I don't know. You can use any color you want. Any scrap you have works. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and blend and yeah, weld these. So I'm going to flip them over just like that, and I'm going to place them together like I want them to be. And on the opposite side, I'm going to take my adhesive, my permanent adhesive, and I'm going to cross over the joint, and in at least 5 places, maybe a few more if you want. You can, I just cross over that break in between the 2 pieces. And then I take this 1-inch piece of cardstock, lay it on top, and adhere it. Alright, so then I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. Typically I don't weld more than 2 pieces together. This is the first time in a long time I've needed to do more than just 2 pieces. But, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. I need these papers. So, welding and go. Okay, so here we go with, and I just kind of jacked that up, so we will fix that. All right, so now we have a much more appropriately sized piece of paper, and that's going to look lovely. Okay, so now what I need is to cut this so that it is 5 inches. So I'm going to scoot this edge out here to the 5-inch mark. For some reason, it's not exactly square on this side, so I think it will be okay though. Even with it like that. I don't like the way this is laying, so I'm going to fix this side just a little. Because I can see the white paper through it, which means for some reason my paper did not get close enough. There, I feel better about that. Okay, so then this piece will go this way, and I'm having to adhere that because it was in the middle of what I had already put down. Alright, so then this will be our side piece. Okay, I need 2 more pieces, these 2 pieces that go along the bottom here. And so I'm going to use this kind of smoother stone to represent that. First thing I need to do is square up this edge because it's kind of at an angle. Do I need to do that? Things are kind of a little bit rough here and there. Okay, so I'm at roughly 3 inches. That means my pieces are only going to be 1.5 inches thick. On here they are 2 inches tall. On mine they're only going to be 1.5 because that's all I have to work with left of my scraps. And this one's actually going to be a little bit taller on one end, which is going to be more true to the 2-inch mark. I think I'm just going to leave that slant. We'll see how it looks. If I need to trim it, I can trim it. Alright, so then we've got this part, which is going to be 1.5. I'll just finish that up. Okay, so there's our two 2-inch pieces for down here. Do I have all of my pieces? I think I do. I'm going to save this one and might add it to the top here if I need it, maybe for a little bit of extra. We might use that. I'm not sure. This one is going to need to be a matte. It's going to be a matte for this photo up here, and this shows it being a 5x7 matte. We're not going to be using a 5x7 matte on ours because I don't have enough paper to do that. I possibly could use this one, actually. Maybe. Because this one is the right measurement. I could make that a 5x7 matte. Something to keep in mind. But right now I was planning to just use this extra piece, and this measures 4 3/8. So that gives us a 3/8 inch border, which is really only 3/16 on around each edge. So we're going to measure this to match. So this is going to be 6 3/8, so that the border that goes around it will be even. And so one of those will end up being our mat that we use. We'll see. All right, let's lay this out and see what this is going to start to look like here. Sometimes I just don't know until I'm actually looking at it. Then it's easier for me to decide, I like that, I don't like that. That works, that doesn't, you know, that kind of thing. So, first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and take this piece. Let me move my photos off my black pages so that I am working with my blank slate here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this piece down. This is the piece that is not reflected in the sketch, but I'm using because I have nothing else I will use this paper for, so I might as well just use it in this sketch. And I think it will actually make this unique. Now, this is something that I did not realize. This paper is a little short. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down instead of from the bottom. And let's just do an even, we'll just center it on the page. That would be okay. So we've centered that one. The other piece is actually going, no, we'll put this one on too, because we're not going to be putting anything underneath it, so it can go right onto our page. What I am not going to do though is I'm not going to adhere this ragged edge that's out here, because it may end up that I need to put something underneath that ragged edge, so we don't want to adhere this down to the page and then have to peel it back up again. I mean, I could, but it'd be easier if I don't, so just not going to do that. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to come in here with my long piece that's going to go over top of this. We're going to turn it so that that crack that's so neat looking will be a little more visible, hopefully. We'll see how that all comes together. Okay, this is, whoops, actually, hold the phone. I know I keep changing the trajectory of this, but this is actually the piece that needs to go down now. So, I'm not sure why this is so rough to pull out, but it is. Okay, so this is going to be about, I'm going to give it like 3/4 of an inch from the base of my page. That's even a little short. Interesting. Okay, and then this piece with the cool crack towards the outside is going to go about 3/4 of an inch again up from the bottom. Okay, so like so. Then we're going to put this one on. This way. I keep turning it upside down, but it doesn't go that way. Okay, so I'm going to line up my pages best I can so that I can place this at the same level as the one on the other side of the layout. So about right there. That way there's more continuity because it's level with this side. All right, and then this piece is going to, this is the piece that we welded together, remember? Okay, come on. Okay, this is going to go all right, something that I didn't notice before. This long piece needs to go underneath the golden piece. So we're going to just pop this up real quick and fix that so that it looks right. There we go. Okay, so like so. And then this one's going to go slightly underneath. And that same distance. So 3/4 of an inch here. Okay. I love how you almost don't even see the lines of that. Okay. Now, we really don't see this edge right here. However, I think I'm going to want a little bit of variation in that edge. So what I'm going to do is just use my, because I probably won't use this paper for anything else either. I'm going to cut a portion of that off, And I'm going to cut another portion here. And I'm going to add this to the top of my stone, and then I will cut it, trim it off, so that it just looks a little bit more natural, like it was supposed to be that way. And this piece is small enough that I should be able to just place it right there on the edge. Oh, except it's not straight because I didn't cut it straight. So that's irritating. Okay, so let me fix that. Okay, like so. Okay, I like that. And then this piece over here, we'll just need to trim. Very carefully. Because I want it to be straight. And it didn't end up as straight as I wanted, but that's okay. I think it'll still function well. All right. So now to decide, let's lay our photos on here, and then we'll decide what we're going to do about this photo over here. Okay, so this one's gonna go here, this one's gonna go here. Love the structure of this area. It allows for such a different dynamic. And they've got this photo right up against the edge to allow for a more even border around this square photo on the outside, and kind of the same thing over here, so I may push this in just a smidge. Okay, and so this is the photo I was going to put up here, but I love this one and the way it turned out so much that I think this is the one I want to highlight. So I need to put this in either like that or a little shorter. This one would be, I'm leaning towards this one. I can tell you that right now. I don't like that smaller one. I think I'm going to want this one. So I think probably like that. Maybe even scooting it out just a little. And then these are just the scores for from after the ride. If you've ever been on the ride, then you know what I mean. There's some because of the nature of the ride, there's like a little tally that you're given of how well you did. So I think I'm going to go with that. The only thing I could possibly do is do a tiny little frame around this and cut that down a little on the side and put that. It's so it's actually a double frame, which I might do because I don't know what else I'll do with that paper. Like I said, it'll just get lost in my stash somewhere and never get used. So I may just go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and get these pictures adhered, and then we'll talk about some embellishments. Alright, so now let's talk about some embellishing and what we might want to do. On the sketch, it shows embellishing up here with a title for the page, and then a little bit of embellishing next to this photo down here, and a little bit right here. I've already got these two photos here, so I could possibly add just a little something here, or we could change it and do something completely different. So let's see, maybe what we need is something more like in the middle right here, with up here and over here. Let's see what I've got that we can use. I pulled out a few things to think about. So I have these from one of the old collections that I thought would be appropriate for this go round. I thought maybe we could add a little pizzazz to this. Since we have so much blue in these photos, the blue on here works, and so does the gold. So we could do a wow or a fun. Another thing I thought would be really kind of cool, I had these just sort of extra pieces of silver, and I thought maybe they might be fun to kind of add as little extras. In here, just to kind of add a little pizzazz to the already fun photos. I've got these that are a little longer, we could cut in half. I could stick down here with this one, or maybe add another piece down here underneath. Maybe we'll do that, I don't know. We've got these stars, which we could certainly add. I don't have really a title, so I'm going to have to probably print a title on my Cricut, but that will be easy enough to do, right? So not too worried about that. So we could do some, could add some big smiles to this, to bring a little bit of red to this side of the layout, a little more red. And we could say fun, happy magic moments on this side, instead of saying wow. I just really have to look at how I want these on here. Maybe what we'll do is cut Fold these in half. Add one to down here. And this one to down here. Or maybe add it up here. My sister's here. Woohoo!
Hiya.
Well, okay. And then I will print a title to go up there. What are we thinking? Does that kind of balance? All right. Maybe we'll add some of these guys in too. Let me go ahead and start adhering some of these down while I think about this for a minute or two. All right, I think I like that. Let's see if we can add any of these little doodads in, just because I don't really use these very much. So maybe if we add just a couple here or there, it will bring a little bit of the color, kind of spread the color out just a little. I don't know. Strange thoughts I have as I do these things. I don't really want this to turn into a sticker sneeze kind of event, but also, you know, sometimes it's nice to add a little bit of that color. I've got a little blue dot we can add to, so maybe I'll stick the blue dot down here on this corner. Whoa, move, don't stick, don't stick. Oh, darn it. Well, I think that's staying there. Nope, oh, got it. I think I actually separated the sticker. Okay, well, it'll have to do for now. All right, well, let me know what you think. I think it's fun to do the sketches for the virtual crop, and so you may, if you're an advisor or if you are part of the virtual crop, you may see this posted on the Facebook page before you actually see this video, but that's okay. Just will spoil the surprise. But I think this will be really lovely, especially after I get a title put up here in the corner. Let me know what you think the title should be. This is, these are photos taken from Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland, and Smuggler's Run is the name of the ride that we were on. So something fun and catchy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to get some ideas. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Take care.